car owner, inireklamo ang brand dahil napakapangit daw ng customer service nito.
The worst car brand ever, Geely Philippines. Do not buy cars from them anymore. So sinilip ko guys yung loob ng kotse ko. Meron pang natitirang milk tea, no? Antindi talaga. So ibig sabihin, uminom pa sila sa loob ng kotse ko. Meron pang potato corner doon. So shoutout sa Geely Philippines, no? 4.3 yung rating nila dito sa Star. Within just one overnight, naging 3.2 na lang siya. And super alarming yan sa mga new customer nila. Wala na akong ganang kunin yung unit ko since binaboy nyo na siya.
Yo, what's up? This is Real Talk Darbs, ang pambansang issue analyzer ng Pilipinas, wherein I'm trying to influence you how to think critically about sa mga recent viral social issues ngayon dito sa Pilipinas. And today, we're gonna be talking about another viral issue patungkol sa isang car owner na nag-share ng kanyang experience about this car at brand na pinagbilhan niya nito.
Meron pang natitirang milk tea, no? Antindi talaga. So ibig sabihin, uminom pa sila sa loob ng kotse ko.
Sense of entitlement ba ang pagbibigay ng feedback sa isang service? Kasiraan ba ito agad ng kumpanya or just marketing strategy lang for publicity? If you are in this kind of situation, ano ang gagawin mo? And of course, what are the things that you may be able to learn from this kind of situation? Let's find out. First, let me give you a brief context. Sa mga hindi nakakilala, Geely is one of the leading car manufacturers based in China that was founded on the year 1986. Basically, it is a Chinese brand na sasakyan na ino-offer na rin dito sa Pilipinas. On the other hand, the uploader of the post about his Geely car ay kinilala na si James Afante, the CEO and the founder of Afante Group of Companies. Now, let's go back to the issue. Last Sunday, August 20, James posted on his Facebook account a long rant about his experience sa nabili niyang sasakyan sa Geely Philippines. This post also had a TikTok video version that I will incorporate here as well. Sa amin ni James sa intro,
The worst car brand ever, Geely Philippines. Do not buy cars from them anymore.
allow me to give you the highlights para hindi ka na mahirapang chismosa ka, di ba? Para convenient ka nang sa pakikichismis mo. Ang sasakyan ni James ay Geely Coolray, kung saan ang presyo nito sa Pilipinas starts at more than 1 million pesos. Disclaimer niya sa simula ng kanyang post, ang lahat daw ng kanyang PMS o Preventive Maintenance Schedule ay from Geely Casa only. Meaning to say na ang pagpapacheck at pagpapamaintenance niya ng car ay sa Geely Casa lang at hindi sa iba, kaya wala siyang ibang i-held accountable kundi yung mismong brand. At first part, kwento ni James that he bought his first car 1 taon na ang nakakalipas. Sabi niya, when I bought the Coolray about a year ago, everything was fun and seems to be okay. I even managed to influence my friends because I'm overall satisfied with the performance and overall quality of the car. I trusted this brand. However, after 6 months, dito na siya naka-encounter ng iba't ibang problem sa car.
About 6 months ago, nakaka-experience ako guys ng yung pag ginagas mo yung kotse, diba, marampa siya, tapos bilang magpapalo siya ng 4,000 RPM, biglang babagsak yung RPM ko para mawawalan siya ng power.
Dahil dito, nag-decide si James na dalhin ito agad sa kasa para ipacheck. Dito, sinabi raw sa kanya na ang problema ay nakapagpakarga daw siya ng maduming gas.
So nagtataka ako guys kung number 1, bakit nila sinisisi yung gas? More on Petron lang naman ako palagi nagpapagas. Super bihira ako sa mga unknown brands magpapagas that time.
Para daw di na lumaki ang usapan ay pumayag na lang si James sa mga dapat gawin, which is i-drain yung gas at palitan ang filter. Then after a week ay okay na ulit ang sasakyan. Fast forward, after a month, naka-encounter na naman daw siya ng problem. This time, ayaw na daw mag-start ng sasakyan.
After a month, so papunta akong Alabang neto nung time na to, which is ito na yung kotse ko nung time na to. Nakapag-park pa ako niyan pupunta, and then nung pauwi na ako, which is around mga 10-11 PM na to, sobrang hassle ako na lang nag-iisa sa parking lot. Ayaw mag-start ng kotse ko.
Then James decided na ipacheck ang battery ng sasakyan if this is really the problem, pero hindi pala. He also called the mechanic sa mall to scan the car pero walang error na nadidetect.
So itong si kuya na to, itong nakaputi na to, which is siya yung mechanic, meron siyang instinct na sabi niya baka fuel pump yung problema ng car na to kasi tinetesting niya, every time na igagas niya, dun instantly namamatay yung kotse. So ibig sabihin, walang gas na nasisip-sip yung makina. Kasi sabi niya sa akin, noong time na to, wala na daw problema doon sa makina. So probably nasa loob yung problema.
No-troubleshoot ito ng mechanic hanggang sa napagana niya ito ulit. However, sinabihan daw siya nito that he needs to go to the casa as fast as possible for it to be checked and fixed dahil serious matter daw ito. The very next day, he went to Gili, Makati kung saan sinabi niya rito ang nangyari. At ano ba dapat ang palitan?
After 3 days, binalikan nila ako na sabi nila guys na wala na daw problema kasi nung in-scan din daw nila ginamit nila to, wala rin daw pong error lumalabas and good to go na yung kotse.
After a week, habang nagdadrive si James dahil may errand siya, ay biglang nag-shutdown ang kanyang sasakyan sa gitna ng kalsada.
After about 5 to 7 days or 1 week guys, biglang nag-shutdown yung car ko sa kalsada. Yan, makikita naman ninyo guys. Nung nag-shutdown siya, same na same yung experience na nangyari. So feeling ko, fuel pump na naman yung problema. And tinawagan ko yung kasi sabi ko, di ba sinabi ko sa inyo na palitan nyo to pero sabi niyo walang problema. So ito na naman nangyari siya ulit.
After 4 to 5 months, he decided to surprise visit to check kung may progress na ba sa pagpapaayos ng kanyang sasakyan. However, iba ang tumambad kay James.
So this is kahapon, August 20, no? Nag-surprise visit ako sa casa nila. 45 minutes na ako naghihintay dun sa lobby nila and wala nag-a-assist sa akin. Kahit man lang ahente, wala. Nakafocus sila lahat sa mga benta nila. Dun sa mga walk-ins yun sa mga nag-i-inquire. Pero ako, na may problema ako sa existing unit ko from them, hindi nila ako inaasikaso.
Bukod dito, meron pa daw siyang ibang nakita nang tingnan niya ang loob nito.
So sinilip ko guys yung loob ng kotse ko and tignan nyo guys, meron pang natitirang milk tea, no? Ang tindi talaga. So ibig sabihin, uminom pa sila sa loob ng kotse ko. Tapos ito pinakamatindi guys, sobrang nabad na talaga ako nung time na to. Meron pang potato corner doon. Ayun o, kita mo yun. Tapos ito yung seat nakabukas. And then yung fuel pump guys, ito naka-open yung cover niya.
At dahil ganito ang sitwasyon ng car niya for almost 4 months, for sure ay kumapit na daw ang iba't ibang amoy na to, lalo na sa mga interior at sa leather.
So imagine niyo guys yung amoy ng yung potato corner, amoy ng milk tea, amoy ng gas, no? 4 months na po yan dyan na umiikot sa loob na naka-enclose na nakatirik sa araw. So for sure yung amoy niyan guys, kumapit na po yan dyan sa materyales, sa leather, sa tela, o sa interior ng kotse.
In addition to that, para kay James, wala naman daw siyang problema sa brand ng Geely. Kundi ang problem niya ay sa good customer service at after-sale services nito.
Wala naman ako problema kay Geely brand guys, pero sana ayusin nila yung services nila. One thing is for sure, wala na akong ganang kunin yung unit ko since binaboy nyo na siya.
Now, because of this issue, nakatanggap ng samut-saring comments sa mga netizens. May mga Geely car owners, may mga nagbabalak na bumili ng Geely, at merong mga katulad mong nakikimarites lang. Kahit na nagko-commute ka lang. Wala mo sasakyan. Sabi ni Joe Ben Pineda Maria, yan po common complaint sa Geely. Bagsak sila sa aftermarket at parts availability. Ko alam kung dahil sa baguhan sa market o talagang fail management. Sabi ni Peter Sawali, kung ako yan, refund talaga yan. Hindi na ako papayag na palitan nila dahil sasakit lang ang ulo at mahihirap ka ng gusto. Kaya nga bumili ng sasakyan para convenient tapos papahirapan ka lang pala. Moreover, meron ding mga Geely car owners na iba ang naging experience compared to James. Dahil daw sa kanila, goods naman daw ang brand na ito. Fast forward ulit, August 22, tumawag daw ang Geely kay James.
So being professional, nakikipag-cooperate ako sa kanila. Sabi daw nila sa akin magmi-meeting daw sila today at i-update daw nila kung ano naiisip nilang resolution today.
On the second call, dito na raw sinabi sa kanya, ang gusto nilang i-offer na resolution kay James.
So ang offer nila sa akin is number 1, ready na daw yung parts at meron daw 2 special engineer nila akong tawagin, which is I don't know kung pinapa-sweet words mo lang ako. And then bibigyan daw nila ako ng free interior and exterior detailing. Tapos bibigyan daw nila ako ng free PMS. And then babayaran din daw nila yung ginastos kong towing services nung tinow yung kotse ko, nung tumirik yung kotse ko last time.
However, sa ngayon ay wala pa siyang ginagawang desisyon dahil kakausapin pa daw ni James ang lawyer niya kung ano ba dapat ang gawin. Bukod dito, James also said on his FB post, hindi naman daw niya intensyon na manira, kundi magbigay lang naman ng feedback. Out there realize that it is not my intention to destroy the brand. This is a feedback from a normal customer. Whether I bought the unit second hand, I am still a customer of Geely, and this is what's happening now. I just hope that this does not happen anymore to anyone in the future. Lastly, I did not provided any updates yet since then, as there is still no concrete updates to be announced. So, what are the 3 things that we may be able to learn from this kind of situation? Number 1, opinions can be biased, but feedback helps growth. We can't really prosecute the guy with his feedback. Experience niya yun. He was frustrated, he was disappointed, and that's valid. kahit naman siguro ako kung gagawin sa akin yon. Ibang usapan naman kasi kung walang bearing talaga yung sinasabi niya, walang basis, na puro salita lang. Pero ito kasi may evidences at merong mga proof. I hope that the management of Gili Makati would take accountability din because they can grow with this. Service is just the beginning. Responsibility is an ongoing commitment. Now, this goes to every salespeople. I have friends in real estate, e-commerce, and the likes. And what I appreciated and learned from them, at sa tingin ko kung bakit sila nagsasucceed sa field, ay dahil hindi natatapos ang kanilang relationship sa client after nila ma-close deal ang transaction. I mean, parang relasyon lang yan. Paghihirapan mo sa simula, pero to make them stay, it requires constant communication. Remember, madaling magkaroon ng bagong clients or sales. But a repeat customer who stays because they feel great customer service speaks more volume because with this, you will have clients for life. Number 3, their opinion is just a reflection of their perception. My point is, magkaroon ka pa rin ng sarili mong opinion. I know that helpful ang feedback ng iba. But if ever you really want this product or brand, then see for yourself. Kasi mataas ang tsansa na iba din ang experience mo kesa sa ibang naririnig mo lang. And if ever pareho kayo ng experience nung mga naririnig mo, at least now you confirm. At least your feedback is an additional reference para sa iba. Pero what I'm trying to say is, don't just get their opinion just because they say it's bad, you automatically assume it's bad. Try it for yourself and let yourself be the judge. Real talk. This issue would be resolved very quickly if somebody took accountability of what happened. In this case, yung kasa. I agree with one of the netizens who said that this is a specific kasa concern that needs to be fixed by them. At it doesn't necessarily apply to every Gili brand. Dahil kung meron dapat responsable sa pag-maintain ng credibility and dignity ng company, ay yung mga taong nagtatrabaho doon at hindi yung clients. And for those people who's throwing accusations on James na entitled daw siya, well, giving feedback about your situation is not entitlement. It's just basically speaking up about your experience. Kasi sigurado ako kung ikaw ang may similar na karanasan about kay James, I'm sure you'll do the same thing. You'll speak out. You'll tell everybody just for you to get a response from them. 4 months yung sasakyan mong nakatambak. Pagdating mo, nakatiwangwang sa labas. That is very frustrating. And when that frustration is voiced out in a manner where it's constructive, I don't think that's entitlement. That's just basically giving feedback. This is also not an issue of being a perfect company. Wala namang perfect. But how you deal with any conflicts or misunderstandings changes a lot of things. This can set you apart sa ibang services. Yung hindi lang nandyan tuwing masaya, pero yung kumpanya na maaasahan mo pa rin kahit may problema na. And once you as a company, you as a business owner is able to make your customers feel that way, I'm telling you, that is one of the greatest ways to become successful in your business. Kasi sila na mismo ang magpo-promote sa ibang tao. Remember that the only way to grow is to be open for feedback, both positive and constructive, for it shows your strength in wanting to continually better your service and yourself.
'Cause we lost it all, nothing lasts forever.